G'day folks, how are you? It's Corey again at ROCKPILE. Just out in the veggie garden area. Going to do a little bit more on the shade structure framework. So this morning's plan is we're going to measure out off the back fence parallel to a certain measurement, and that measurement is dictated by where this corner post will go, which I'll take you over there shortly and show you. We've got a few tools here that we're going to use today. So string line, this is just some old braided fishing line, very good because you can pull it tight, like really tight, and it doesn't snap. Just a steel peg, so we can whack that in the ground down that end and tie the line off to it. Obviously a hammer to bash it in. Tape. Again, we'll use the drill and the impact driver to set these big screws in that I showed you yesterday. And I've just got a can of line marking paint just in case, I want to paint a cross on a chicken or something, if they get in the way. And then once that line is through, parallel, that's a good start. We know where the posts are going to go that way. Then we just got to square off that back fence. Just do the old 3-4-5 method. All you do is a squared plus b squared equals the square root of c. I think that's how it works. So measure out here, times it by itself, measure that way, times it by itself, add those two measurements together, and then the square root of that is your diagonal. Alright, let's head down to this post. Actually, I might take a few of these with me. Alright, this is our post. Yeah, they're quite high, remember, we're cutting them off after. Kind of going to sit somewhere there, I presume. I was hoping I could just screw it straight to it. Just being that little bit out of level puts this longer post like a lot further out of level as you get to the top of it. Not ideal. And don't tell Amanda I put the bloody railway sleeper fence out of level. Let's see how these screws go into the sleeper area. Oh yeah, they pull in tight. Okay, so our overall size of the greenhouse is going to be 5.7 metres. Alright, let's roll this out. We'll see how good we are at a guess. I reckon somewhere near that mark is 5.7. Huh. Hey? Nowhere near it. I was half a metre out. Like. Oh, geez. Ground's pretty soft. Now I paint them yellow so I don't trip over them, because I have done that in the past, and although it's amusing for others to watch, it's not so amusing for me. Okay, 4 metres. Got my architecturally drawn blueprints here. It's my little notepad of scribble, basically. Every little idea I have, I just write in little notepads and keep them. So we know that one measurement we have 4 metres, and the other measurement that way we have 5.7 metres. If I get my phone, 5700 squared is a very large number, 32,490,000. And then you do plus 4 metres, so no dots in between. I just go, these are millimetre measurements. So plus 4 3 zeros squared equals 16 million, which we know because it's 4 times 4 is 16. Do equals, and that comes to a really big number. So we've added those two squared numbers together, and then you hit square root, and the measurement on the diagonal should be 6, 9, 6, 3. So 6 metres 963. So I know if I hook my tape measure on that screw that we put in the fence and I measure out that measurement 6963, where that measurement crosses this line or touches this string line is square. We might just get something, a nice little bit of kale stalk. I'll give it a touch of yellow. And I will remove this as soon as I've finished with it because I don't want the chickens pecking on the yellow paint. Don't you touch that string line. Hey, shoot. Go, go. You're not helping. So 6963 is right there. Alright, so now I know that I need to dig a hole here, and then that will give us equal measurements to measure off each way in correspondence with the back posts, so whatever the back posts are apart, which is just under 4.8 metres, so we'll measure that with a tape, and then we go from this post, that measurement, and then all these posts will line up going back that way. And we know that they're parallel at the front off the back fence. This one is square. Oh, it's my favourite part of the day, digging holes. I love digging holes. Not sure how exciting this is going to be for you, but I'm already sweating, I know that. It's going to be a hot one today, it's going to be 39 today. So, let's get into digging a hole. Don't hit the string line with the shovel. After all this work you've done, don't do it. So through the magic of 30 minutes later, we have the post in. It is a little bit of fiddling around just to try and set these few critical posts up like nice and straight and level. I rechecked the diagonal. We got the post level both ways. I've eyed it with my eye to that post, looks good, and to that post, looks good. The next task will be to go get some rapid set from the hardware and concrete this one post in and then let it dry. So it usually only takes say half an hour, and it's pretty good. And then we can get some more measurements off that. So one more post there, and then two more that side, and then we do the same thing. I just use star pickets and a few clamps. You can use whatever you got, bits of wood, anything. Children if you've got them, if you trust them to hold it steady. Alright, I'm back from the hardware. So I'm just using Rapid Set, not Rapid Set brand because we don't have that in our little country town. This is just a fast setting concrete, same stuff, different packaging. Fill the hole half full of water, pour a bag of that in, or whatever it takes. Get a little poker stick and just poke it around a bit. Don't need that on there because that'll cut my hand open. I'm not allowed to have any cuts on my body before I go into hospital. So that's that. Yeah, so now what I did to the hole as well, which I believe is a good thing, call it like belling out the bottom. So you have your hole which comes down, and then the bottom, well, say from a third of the hole at the bottom, you take the sides out a bit like that, so it looks like a bell. So the hole comes down and out, and that will help provide resistance against wind lift. Anything with like a roof structure should have a kind of bit of a bell at the bottom of the footing, in my opinion, I reckon. You can't go wrong. So I've done that. So we're about 500 deep, which is about that much, just under 2 foot, and we're approximately 200 round, and then the bottom kind of flares out a bit like a little bell. So let's just tip some water in, some cement in, go from there.
Look at this. I'm already so in love with this space.
I think it's going to be absolutely. I think the word's a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty big now, but all these posts get cut off like all level, so they're probably a metre coming off them, roughly.
Need my eye? Oh, you're doing pretty good.
All
You
right.
don't need me, yeah.
I always need you.
Oh, God, these smell so good.
Four posts concreted in. It's getting a bit hot out here. Tell you, let's see how hot it is. How hot is it? How hot do you reckon? If you said 38.5, you'd be right. Oh, another beautiful morning. It is. It's about 6:30. Warming up a bit. Another hot one today. 39 to 40 roughly today. So we'll just do a couple of hours out here this morning. Going to set the laser up, get a mark on these posts and cut them all off level. So we're going like a flat roof. So yeah, so I want the lowest part so I can walk under it if I'm carrying something on my shoulder or whatever quite comfortably. And then we'll just take that level and we'll just set it for the rest of these posts. Alright, first thing we need to do is set up the laser. Probably put it up just there behind the fence somewhere. Get the beeper and the staff and a pencil and a ladder and a saw. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so that's them all marked. Now I just need to cut them off. I'm going to have to get a bigger ladder. It's going to look pretty impressive. Pretty high down that end. Might just go measure it. Alright, I measured it. Place your bets. Leave a couple of comments on how tall you reckon that end is, just for, you know, a bit of shits and giggles. And I'll tell you how tall it is when I do the sign off after I cut these posts off. Okay, I need a saw. Alrighty folks, that's a wrap. 10 posts in, 10 posts in, like stained, levelled, fixed, concreted, holes dug, marked, cut off level. I think it's going to be, it gives it a little bit of perspective now about the height and the overall sort of area. It's looking good. I'm going to leave it here folks, and I'm going to see you for stage 2 when we prep the 6 metre timbers and we do a special little truss setup thing to help with that span, and hopefully you tune in for that one. Thanks very much folks. Oh, and by the way, it was 3.6 metres high, 12 foot. How'd you go in the comments? Later.